This is the first underwater postal delivery ever, and it happened right here in Florida in 1960. Well, that's a little complicated. So in 1960, the US Navy was testing out this new submarine, the USS, and this sub was special because it could go really deep, like record-breaking depths for a submarine. But at this point in his career, he was just a simple sailor on a submarine, and he had an idea. He was going to send a letter from the bottom of the ocean to the top. Now, while the sub was cruising around, the crew got a little bored. And you know what they say about bored sailors? They get into all kinds of shenanigans. And also because water is wet and paper gets soggy. But Mr. Ballard had a brilliant idea. The Navy tried to keep this a secret for years, but eventually the story got out and Mr. Ballard became a hero. In case you're wondering, the letter is now in the Smithsonian. He knew that there was a Navy ship up on the surface called the USS Jason. And he thought, maybe. And if you ever see a submarine at the bottom of the ocean, it probably has a letter for you. I can send my letter to the bottom of the ocean, where it will be 10,000 times deeper than any other letter ever sent before. So the Navy was like, wow, this thing is so cool, let's take it for a spin. And what better place to test out a new submarine than in the beautiful blue waters of Florida? After the sub was submerged, Mr. Ballard surfaced again. Everyone was super excited. The letter had made it. It was the first underwater postal delivery ever. This time with a scuba tank and a whole bunch of reporters. One of the sailors on board was a Mr. Robert Ballard, who would later become famous for discovering the Titanic. Put it in a waterproof envelope and dropped it into the ocean. Then he surfaced, took a big deep breath and waited for the letter to be delivered. Now typically, a letter sent this way would take about a week to arrive. But this was a very special delivery. Now, normally you call and send a letter from the bottom of the ocean to the top because there is no mail service down there. So he wrote the letter, sealed it up. You see, the USS Jason was also carrying a nuclear submarine with it. And when the sub went down, the letter went down with it. And sure enough, there was the USS Jason at the bottom of the ocean. The letter had arrived in just under 2 hours. And then everyone got very scared because they realized that if the submarine had been carrying people instead of a letter, those people would have died. He was awarded the Legion of Merit for his bravery, and also for writing the letter. So remember, if you ever get a letter from the bottom of the ocean, it probably took a submarine to deliver it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.